Hello everyone, it's Thursday here in Accra, Ghana, and this is GHToday news just ahead. Editor-in-Chief of Daily Searchlight, Ken Kranchi, files suit at Supreme Court seeking interpretation on whether former President John Dramani Mahama can seek re-election. Meanwhile, a member of the opposition NDC's legal team has called on Ghanaians to treat the lawsuit with disdain. And NPP Bono East Regional Chairman Ibrahim Baba Bukari reportedly in critical condition following a ghastly accident in the Asin North District while returning from a campaign trip in the constituency. We have these and others coming up shortly. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying. I am Evelyn Araba-Edu. Remember, the bulletin is streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube at GHOne TV. You can also find us on GoTV and DSTV. This morning, we begin the bulletin on the lawsuit against former President John Dramani Mahama. As a member of the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC's legal team, Eduji Tamaklo, has called on Ghanaians to treat the lawsuit by Editor-in-Chief of the Daily Searchlight newspaper, Ken Kranchi, with disdain. The Editor-in-Chief of the Daily Searchlight, Ken Kranchi, on Wednesday filed a lawsuit at the Supreme Court seeking interpretation on whether former President John Dramani Mahama can seek re-election as he has been elected by the NDC as its flag bearer for the 2024 elections. What Ken Kranchi wants from the Apex Court include a declaration that on a true and proper interpretation of Article 66, Clause 1 and 2 of the 1992 Constitution, a person seeking a second presidential term must be a sitting president. A declaration that on a true and proper interpretation of Article 62 of the 1992 Constitution, a former president of Ghana is not qualified to seek election as President of Ghana. An order directed at President John Dramani Mahama to fully disclose to Parliament the terms of his engagement as a flag bearer of a political party. But speaking on Star Today, the legal practitioner Eduji Tamaklo stated that the former president has not yet been served and is currently out of the country, adding that the former president is somewhere outside the country, minding his business and engaging with people who matter, and that Ghanaians should treat the lawsuit with contempt. Let's stay in courts. The High Court in Accra has revoked the bail condition of Warrant Officer Class 2 WO2 Esther Sa GHOne over what the court described as untrue representations and not convinced conduct. WO2 GHOne, the only female of the remaining 9 persons on trial following the demise of Dr. Frederick Yao McPalm, had pleaded not guilty to charges including high treason. On June 6, when the matter came up for hearing, WO2 GHOne was absent and his lawyers indicated to the court that their client had been admitted at the police hospital. The panel of 3, presided over by Justice Efiasewa Saribuche, a justice of the Court of Appeal sitting as an additional High Court judge, then directed the accused to produce a medical report to the court on June 13, but the reports presented to the court said that was unsigned. The panel, which also includes Justice Hafi Sata Amale Boba and Justice Stephen Opong, All justice of the Courts of Appeal yesterday ordered the registrar of the courts to verify the admission of the accused at the hospital and report to the court. In court on Wednesday, June 14, the registrar of the court, Francis Kwabena, presented his report to the panel. Even though he said the accused visited the hospital, there was no reports of her being admitted. After tendering his report, the accused and her lawyers offered no explanations. The presiding judge, after listening to the registrar's reports and taking into consideration of the previous conduct of the sixth accused, revoked her bail conditions under further notice. According to EIB Network's Legal Affairs correspondent Mutale Nusa, the third accused has closed his case after failing, to produce his witness in court yesterday. Away from that, Chairman for the Select Committee on Mines and Energy in Parliament, Samuel Atachia, has resurrected the debate on to take or pay PPAs signed by the former President John Dramani Mahama's administration. The minority weeks ago took on the country director for the World Bank for blaming such contracts for Ghana's current economic crisis, pointing out the current administration is equally executing similar agreements since it's a standard industry practice. But addressing the media in Parliament, Samuel Atachia argued that the take-or-pay agreements signed by the Mahama appointees amounted to causing financial loss to the state. The Ebuako South MP, however, added that prosecution decisions rest with the president and his attorney.
The government was forced to issue 2 series of bonds totaling 1.6 billion in 2017 and 2018 to pay 50% of the legacy debt owed to several energy sector actors, including various banks, VRA, ECG, the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, unresolved, and the sector's total shortfalls are projected to accumulate to 12.5 billion by 2023. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are not inventions of a political party. These are raw data that I crave your indulgence as the fourth estate of the realm to look at critically. So we have a balanced diet. Because what happens is that, somebody can come in and hijack the imagination of people that as if it's a joke. These are serious monies as a result of this fetish called take or pay power arrangements. And
let's now shift our attention to the camp of the NPP, but rather on a sad story as the Bono East Regional Chairman of the party, Ibrahim Baba Bukari, is reportedly in critical condition following a ghastly accident at Akomfode in the Asin North District. Baba Bukari was said to be returning from a campaign trip at Asin Ninchenso and was heading towards Asin Fosu when the motorbike he was traveling with ran into the rear portion of a Kia truck with registration number GX3489-14, which was being escorted by the Asinfosu-based Forestry Commission. Eyewitness reports suggest he was overtaking the Kia truck while overspeeding, resulting in the crash. He was rushed to the local Chiefs Compound facility for first aid and was later referred to the St. Francis Xavier Hospital in Asinfosu. Still in the camp of the NPP, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the party, GHOne, also known as Bernard Nchibwesiako, says his party will snatch the Asin North seats just as it did during the Kumeru by-election. He has pleaded the support of all chairmen from across the country to ensure there is victory for the party during the by-election.
Addressing New Patriotic Party members in the Asin North constituency, Chairman Wuntumi said all indications show the NPP will win the Asin North constituency seat.
Oh, try a one Ghana, I say no. Actually, MP no, I feel in some. The Minianum, Yatua Bassa and Putu Baba, Yatua Bassa, Yedia Baba, Yatua Bassi, Abako Nim, a black person by no. And Fiam, you know, Yatua Bamano, so be a good bit me.
National organizer for the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nanabuache, is also confident of a win for the NPP.
His Excellency, the President, the following day, I died twice, and another damper before the tone sat and all the trade you watch as a book. As some of us are in the same, Charles says, yeah, parliamentary candidate MPP, and the enemy more, Obian Quaji on Okwahua, Rebecca said, I'm penny my book upon to make us so. Charles will be an honest out of kind. Charles said, Nana, Miss Now, Mimanfo, and put one.
The national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Stephen Ayinsu Intim, however, accused the former MP, James GHToday, of causing huge financial loss to the state and must face the full rigors of the law.
The people of Asin have realized that they made a mistake, voted for Kwesi. He has wasted our time, he has wasted government money. Now, government is going to spend again on this election. For what? It goes against you, it goes against me. Let's not make that mistake again. We regret for what we did, and we are prepared to correct that mistake right here on next week on the 27th. So we call on all Ghanaians to endorse our candidate Charles Opoku to come and replace the man who has wasted the time of government and the time of the people of Asin North.
Away from politics, the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Mavis Hawakumsen, has outlined a roadmap for the commencement of the annual closed season for fishing, which takes effect from July 1, 2023. According to the Minister, while canoe and inshore fishers would observe the closed season for a month, which is from July 1 to July 31. The fishing season would be closed to industrial trawlers from July 1 to August 31. Addressing the media in Accra, the sector minister assured government is taking measures to cushion fisher folks while curbing illegal, unregulated and unreported fishing activities.
The Ministry and the Fisheries Commission has since 2016 been implementing closed fishing season as a fish stock recovery strategy with the objective of reducing overfishing and high fishing pressure, recovering over-exploited fish stocks, rebuilding depleted fish stocks, replenishing dwindling fish stocks, to ensure continuous recovery and rebuilding of depleted fish stocks. Closed fishing season were implemented from 2016 to 2022, except 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic. As a way of reducing pressure on the fisheries resources, the ministry and its partners, including the Ghana Fisheries Recovery Activity, has launched the Alternative Livelihood Training Support for Fishers, starting with 550 fishers in masonry, carpentry, dressmaking, hairdressing, electronics, and auto engineering.
Meanwhile, the minister has decried the incessant dumping of plastic waste and other toxic waste that pollutes the sea. The minister, who was speaking at a press conference to announce a roadmap for the 2023 closed fishing season, lamented the situation continue to have adverse effects on the quality of fish produced in the sea for consumption and exports.
We see plastic waste in our sea. This fish goes in for it, it chokes them and it kills them in the water. You don't even see it. We pollute the air, thinking that, the sea, thinking that we are trying to hide behind something. The last time I was saying that when it rains, you see that is where people dispose of their waste into the gutters, then it moves directly into the sea. And if it's not going into the sea, the lagoons are there. It goes to the lagoon. So it kills the species there. And when we say we should stop polluting the environment, throwing waste anyhow, people think it is the duty of government. It's the duty of all of us. Who is the government? You are the government. I'm the government. What are we doing to stop these unnecessary activities that pollute the environment, that pollute the sea? Have you thought of the fish that you eat from the sea? Have you thought of the fish that you eat from the inland, the water? We do all these illegal activities. It's part of the illegal activities. Not only galamsey is illegal. Throwing waste into the sea is also illegal activity. So
in the Ashanti region, the Asantehene Otumfuo Tutu II has appointed Nathan Kobna Anochie DC, Chief Executive Officer of the Excellence in Broadcasting Network, that is EIB Network, as a board member of the Millennium Excellence Foundation. He will serve on the board with 32 others. President of the foundation, Nana Ajiman Prempe, formerly known as Ashmorton, on Sunday, 11th June 2023, formally introduced the board members to the Kumasi Traditional Council during the celebration of the 4th Akosidai Festival of the year in the Mesia Palace.
11 out of the 33 board members who made it to the festival included Engineer Nana Poku Ajiman, Dr. Ernest Dofori Sapon, Dr. Kweku Otin, Patricia Poku Diaby, Anes Hafar, Joyce Ababio, Elinam Hogli, Mike Dankwa, Kobi Asma, and Linda Ampa. The Millennium Excellence Foundation is a non-profit, non-governmental organization legally registered with a vision to recognize and support achievement in sustainable development. The concept is that by celebrating and showcasing achievements of individuals and corporate institutions and their impact on society, it will spur them on and inspire others to do the same. Speaking to GHOne News, President of the Foundation, Nana Ajiman Prempe, formerly known as Ashim Morton, pledged the Millennium Excellence Foundation will give its utmost support to the planning and celebration of the 25th anniversary celebration of Asante-Hene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II's ascension on the Asante-Man Golden Stool. The foundation also donated 1,000 exercise books to support Otumfuo Osei Tutu II's foundation's educational projects.
As you know, the Millennium Excellence Foundation has a tradition. Every 3 to 5 years, we change our board of governors and the advisory board. And this time around, we are coming to present the new incoming board of governors and the advisory board, and to inform His Royal Majesty that as he prepares to celebrate the 25th anniversary installment on the throne, we are here to support that celebration.
Engineer Nana Puku Ajiman, member of the board of governors of the foundation, also disclosed the Millennium Excellence Foundation, as part of activities marking the 25th anniversary of Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, will organize a series of activities including awarding recognized Ghanaians who have excelled in their various professional career fields. Chief Executive of the EIB Network, Nathan Kwabena Anochi ADC, also commended Otumfuo and the Asante-Man Traditional Council for upholding the Asante tradition by making Menchia Palace a center for tourism.
It's there for all to see. Last year during December, I remember I was part of that day, Kessie as well, and looking at the number of people trooping in, even at the airports, you meet up with a lot of people and they're all coming down to Kumasi, for this festive occasion. So clearly Ashanti is doing very well in that direction as well, and the kingdom is supporting it with all the rich culture through music. I mean, I was enjoying the Inyumkro, and today for the first time I also heard of some people known as the Kwadrum, the Kwadrum and the appellations and hailing of the king. I think that is just great. That is beautiful. A sight to behold indeed. So yes, also through the Millennium Excellence Foundation, we'll be coming here quite often to support concepts of education, health posts as well, and tourism in a nutshell.
The annual Akan calendar is divided into 9 months, which last approximately 6 weeks but varies between 40 and 42 days in a period. The celebration of this period is called the Adai Festival. The Adai Festival has 2 celebration days: the Akwasidai Festival, which is celebrated on the final Sunday of the period, and the Awukudai Festival, which falls on Wednesday within the period.
In health, the Southeastern Europe Task Force of the United States Army has applauded its Ghanaian counterparts at the 37 Military Hospital for their continuous collaboration towards quality healthcare delivery in Ghana. Speaking during a visit, Commander for the Task Force of the United States Army, Major General Todd Wasmuth, urged the medical readiness training team to strengthen cooperation between partner forces while sharing best practices for the treatment of ailments.
The Medical Readiness Training Exercise, MEDREX, which forms part of an annual largest joint exercise of the U.S. African Command, African Lion Military Training Exercise, is aimed at demonstrating shared commitments to regional stability in North and West African countries. MEDREX affords the Ghana Armed Forces and partner forces from the U.S. the opportunity to spend time in medical facilities in Ghana to conduct surgeries and other medical services while sharing best medical practices for the treatment of ailments. During a visit by the U.S. Army to Ghana, the team toured the neonatal intensive care units, the emergency ward, and surgical wards of the 37 Military Hospital to ascertain the progress of the exercise. General Todd Wasmuth is the commander for the task force of the United States Army.
What we hope to achieve with this year's MEDREX is to continue to learn best practices and to exchange best ideas and strengthen our relationship so that we can continue to build on that in the future. I am thoroughly impressed by what I've seen today at the hospital. 500 beds, a teaching hospital, making the most of the resources available, giving confidence to patients, caring for patients and helping them to heal, and doing that with a spirit of giving and selflessness that is really refreshing to see. And I'm absolutely impressed by everything that I've seen today in the hospital.
Leader of the team of medical officers at the Ghana Armed Forces, Commander James Agri-Olins, who is an orthopedic surgeon at the 37 Military Hospital, believes the exercise has been mutually beneficial.
This collaboration has been mutually beneficial. So in the interest of best practices, they learn how to function in an austere environment, and we also learn some advanced practices from them. So it's mutually beneficial, and we hope while we train together, if we keep training together, when there's a great need to actually work together, there will be a seamless transition from working as individual nations to working together as a coalition or a unified body. So that's a concept that we learn to train together, so we work together efficiently.
The U.S. team will be visiting Morocco and Tunisia to undertake a similar exercise as part of the 2023 African Lion military exercise.
In business, the Ghana Statistical Service has pegged inflation for May 2023 at 42.2%, which is a percentage increase in the 41.2% recorded for April, as prices of food commodities see a marginal upsurge. This will be the first rise in the figure this year after a drop in inflation for 4 consecutive months since January 2023. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobina-Enin attributed the surge in inflation to hikes in prices of food items, with food inflation soaring to 51.8% from the 48.7% recorded in April 2023.
The Western North region since September 2022 has recorded 4 times the highest food inflation, specifically from February to May 2023. We've got a Western North region dominating food inflation from 77.3%, inching up to 81.1%, dropped to 78.3% in April 2023, and then slow down again to 77.1% for May 2023. In September 2022, the Central region recorded the highest food inflation of 50.3%, October 57.9%, and November 71.7%. So it could be said that in the last 9 months, the Central region and the Western region have dominated in terms of food inflation. If you take commodities that are well packaged, commodities that are well standardized, you see less price volatilities in those commodities than prices that are not standardized. This takes us to the conversation on why, as a country, we need to take our metric system, our standardization system, more carefully.
The 2023 African Women in Agribusiness Awards have been launched to celebrate and acknowledge the outstanding contributions of women in the agricultural and agribusiness sectors. The awards event, slated for November 18, 2023, will honor over 20 exceptional women across Africa who have not only achieved remarkable success in their respective fields, but have also paved the way for others to follow suit. There's more in this report.
The Guzakuza African Women in Agribusiness Awards, now in its 3rd edition, will highlight the remarkable accomplishments of these women, showcasing their resilience in overcoming the challenges of the agribusiness industry. Speaking at the launch, Fortune Che, the project lead at Guzakuza, explained that the award ceremony brings to the fore the significant but often overlooked role played by women in farming, food production, and agribusiness.
Women are, gathered in their small corners. They are doing remarkably well, especially when you look at the rural women who are really on the ground farming. They are the people that have been putting food on our table, but you realize that they are sidelined. People don't really get to hear of them. So what we are basically looking at is to go out there, look for all these women, bring them together and celebrate them.
Fortune Che added that this year's event aligns with the goals of the African Continental Free Trade Area and climate change resilience, enabling women to adapt to new challenges with greater ease.
Yeah, it's focusing on digitalization because there are so many issues that are concerning after. We really want to get it right so that these women will start to benefit from whatever after seems to bring to the table. Then we will also look at climate resilience, because nowadays climate is no more predictable. You would be expecting rains today, it won't appear, it will appear next time. So we really want the women to be prepared, so that whether it rains or shine, still we need to have food on our table. So
nomination for the awards is now open, commencing on June 14, 2023, and it will continue until August 2023. Following the nomination period, an esteemed panel of judges will review the submissions and select the deserving recipients.
Well, that was GHToday News with me, Evelyn Araba Edu. Do stay tuned with GHToday, which comes up shortly with Sewami here and Lantan Papanko.